My name is Erik Crawford. I'm the owner of UltraPure Systems based out of Arizona. One of the things I've been thinking a lot about is a way that I'm able to deliver some of the things that I've been fortunate enough to learn about ultrasonic humidification in the 20 years that I've been doing this, and also having a mechanical company for many of those years, that we utilized a lot of the expertise from a field position. And that's information that we've been so fortunate that these folks have brought back, information that would be hard for me or any salesperson to actually see through, and that set of lenses that the technician in the field to see what works and what doesn't work and what customers' feedback is. And ultimately the goal would be is to have one happy customer, and that's always what we try to do. And those technicians that have brought back this information for so many years have been so valuable to us, and that's truly a part of who UltraPure is, and that's also a line of our products that we're really proud to present and deliver in a fashion that it's truly coming from folks on the ground, folks that are in front of the customers, folks that are installing and starting up and bringing back those lessons learned. So with that being said, I thought just sharing some of the things that we get asked a lot about from end users, even some of our mechanics, how ultrasonic works, whether products will work with each other. And for the next 4 or 5 weeks, I thought on a weekly basis for 3 to 5 minutes, I'll just go over to, just call it raw questions and answers. I'm not scripting anything, I'm just taking questions as I get them, and I pick 4 or 5 of them, and I'll do my best to answer them for you, and hopefully it will be good information for you if it's something you've been interested in. So the first one comes from, can you use dew point control with the Sigma line of wall-mounted humidifiers? It comes from Jose in Las Vegas, and to answer your question today, that is not possible. No, we do not have that option on our line of humidifiers, but the manufacturer of these humidifiers out of Italy is definitely developing, and they're actively looking into adding dew point control to these humidifiers. And it's an engineering practice that's going to need to be done and developed, because we have the temperature sensors on board and the humidity sensors on board. So now the software we just need to get written so we can calculate dew point, and at that point we can definitely control off a dew point. And I'm hoping by mid-year, depending on what happens with everything in international right now, that's the hope, and we'll just have to see on that, but it's definitely in the works. Dew point control is such a great way to control a space, because what it's doing is it's taking out the equation of temperature, which oftentimes is higher in one place than the other, and it affects the relative humidity. And when you're looking at the relative humidity and you think it's low and your instrument on the other end of the room is reading higher, it could be just because the temperature is skewing the RH, because RH is just that. It's relative of the temperature. And of course, dew point is looking at grains of moisture. It's looking at how much moisture the air can hold at any given time. And it will show you that in a number. So great way to go. Always encourage it. There's a number of charts out there that will show you what the temperature, if you're looking at a temperature and a specific humidity, it will convert that for you, and you could dial in your humidifier to that percentage or that temperature, and there you go. So it works really well. What are the steps and procedures for level 3 and 5 commissioning of the direct wall mounted humidifiers? And that came from Dan in Arizona. Great question. We have had the opportunity to do level 3, 4, and 5 on these actual humidifiers. And level 3 and 4 is a great practice for end users and specifically owners hired by companies, commissioning companies, to come in and really test equipment and validate that if there is something that can go wrong, it's going to be captured and it's going to be written and documented and fixed before the space goes live, because the last thing we want is something to go wrong with our humidifier while it's a live environment. And we could have done due diligence beforehand with commissioning, and that works really well. Yes, we can do it. Yes, we have done it. It's going to require a couple tools, because we're going to actually check hardware and not software. We don't want to alter the software to get to a commissioning satisfaction, we want to test the hardware, and we can do it. And we're going to do it on this humidifier in the next month, so stay tuned on that, Dan, and we will have a video to at least go through, I want to say 7 to maybe 10 different sequences of operation, and that should cover all cases that potentially could happen with these humidifiers down the road. The next question is, I have a humidifier 20 by 30, I have a humidor 20 by 30 by 12. How do I size this room for humidity? All the reps here in North America have a calculator in their sales portal that they're able to calculate that for you fairly easily. It's a fairly given number. There's some really good calculators even outside of what we offer to do that for you. If it's an international sales, which actually this one is from Luanda, I would encourage you to get a hold of a local Corel representative or company, and they have calculators as well to size that for you. But the only thing that is definitely going to be asked is the dimensions of the room, the volume, and the length, width, and height, of course, and what your specifications are going to be in the room, temperature and humidity. And then what's very helpful, if it's an exterior room or an interior room, and also from a door aspect, are the doors constantly open? Are they just standard 3.0 doors? Because humidity escapes rather quickly to a drier space. So once humidity is held tight, it holds really well. But once a door opens, we need to make sure that we're sizing the humidifier to accommodate that loss. So definitely we can do it. Contact your local representative. If you have any questions, you're always free to call us. And the last question we'll do today is, can you use the Sigma Compact 2.2 pound an hour humidifier in ductwork? That comes from Martin in Las Vegas. I wouldn't encourage putting a humidifier in the ductwork unless you went with the UPV, which is the ventilation product, which is designed for internal ductwork or air handler use. The compact units, which work really well, they do have an option with a hose, about a 1-inch hose, that attaches to a longer 30-inch piece of stainless steel, and it has very small holes on it, and we can displace the mist through that. But we're going to want to put our HDPE welded single point connection, very easy to install cabinet outside the ductwork, maybe even affix it to the ductwork, and all we're going to do is we're going to displace the mist into the ductwork through this channeling of a hose and then a nozzle. We also have a switch. It's actually a current transmitter switch, very small, hooks up to our humidifier, and you run one leg of the humidifier fan through it, and when it senses current, it allows the humidifier to run. And when the fan turns off, it's going to lose current through that wire, and our humidifier is not going to be able to run. So you won't have any chance of mist being displaced in the air handler or in the ductwork if we don't have any fan speed or any CFM moving across it, which ultimately never ends in a great solution, in a great situation. So anyway, those are 4 questions today. I have a ton of things that I've put together over the last few weeks that I'd love to go over, but I know we're all busy. We're at very uncertain times right now, and I thought just sharing a few minutes on ultrasonic humidification wouldn't be a bad thing. It's something I'm very passionate about. I love doing it. I love empowering people. I wish I could do it all day long, but at least these times I'm able to get behind a camera and do this, and I'm really happy to. So take care of your families, everyone. I know as a country we're going to get through this. The economy, I have no doubt, is actually going to be stronger than ever after it. We just need to bunker down and stay vigilant and take care of your families. Thank you for joining.